welcome back to yet another episode of Riabua Podcast with your girl KB. So guys, today we are very serious. We're talking tax, everything tax, business tax. I have a guest with me today. I have the tax boss. Sitting next to me is Mrs Munya, Mberi. Welcome, my guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, guys, I never make notes, but today I had to. You made me make notes, eh?
Yeah, that's good because you need to learn this and take it seriously. Tax is something that we need to be serious about sometimes.
I know I had to wear a blazer.
As an accountant, also, you do it to an accountant, you know, you should look the party.
Okay, Munya.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself formally to the listeners and the viewers over there.
Okay, I'm Munya, Gumbo Mberi. As she has said, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a chartered certified accountant,
Yes.
I'm a businesswoman.
Yes.
I love talking to people like you and to educate you. Yeah, I'm a go-getter. So yes, we're going to talk about this and you'll find out more about who Munya is and what I really love to do.
Yes.
I love everything accounting. I love everything business. That's what I can say. That's me in a nutshell. But you can realize that I'm a lot of things that I cannot say. Otherwise, I spend the whole day.
What an intro, guys. We have the vibe.
Yes.
Okay, Munya, tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Munya? Apart from Munya being a wife, a mother, who is Munya?
Okay, like I said briefly, I'm a businesswoman and I love business. I love everything business. I have my own consultant, which is an accounting consultant. Because of my background as a chartered certified accountant, I have a business which deals also with accounting, which is called Ngoho Accounting and Business Consultants. And the reason why I choose that name, Ngoho is a vendor name, which means real, authentic.
Nice.
So yes, I want people to see the business as real, as authentic, because really we are real and authentic. I run this business as a sole director, yes, with my team.
Yes.
I do everything accounting. I do financial statements, as you can see from this. Financial statements, monthly management accounts, your bookkeeping, taxation, common registration, tax registrations. I also advise on your books, whatever finance. I'm the finance person, I'm the go-to guy when it comes to finance. And anyway, one thing I want to say about myself concerning my business, I'm so passionate about this thing. I do this like my life. I love numbers and I love to add value. I'm not the normal accountant who just takes your books, put your numbers together and give it to you. I go the mile, I add the value. I love to talk about those numbers. I always believe the numbers is a story. It's not about the numbers, it's about the story we get from the numbers and we talk about the story. So I'm a passionate person in whatever I do. I also love to talk with business people and encourage them, advise them financially and grow their business with them together.
Oh, yeah, guys. That's so nice, eh? I like your mood, I like your spirit, I must say, thank you.
Okay.
So, tell me, how did this start? How was your journey?
It was a painful journey, I can tell you, how I started it. I've been in consulting for a very long time, like 6 years, before I even think of starting this thing. I had this in mind, that one day I'm going to start my own consultants. But you know, with this thing, our human anatomy, we never do things now. Or we never take it seriously until we're pushed or something happens for you to get to do something. So in 2017, when I qualified, I had my papers, I now say I have my experience and everything in consulting. Now I decided I wanted to go into corporate. So I went into corporate. I got a very high paying job, obviously, because I was a manager, I was a finance manager, I was in charge of finances. But one thing that happened, I could not fit in the culture. I mean, because of my background in consulting, it was a different setup altogether. I couldn't fit in the culture. I did not enjoy my job. And tell you, it was 2.5 months I was in this position.
Yo.
Because I'm that person who loves what I do, and I want to do it perfectly, like a perfectionist somehow. I could feel I was not doing the right thing. I was not fulfilling. I was not doing.
You're not in the right place.
I was not in the right place. Yes. So one day, I just woke up. I went to work, and what did I do? I just resigned. Yeah, I don't encourage you guys to just resign just like that. Because afterwards, I was so depressed. Really, I'm like, really, this decision I've taken. How can I just resign? What am I going to do next? I don't have a client. I was not doing anything extra. I was focusing on the work.
But was the company already registered?
I had just registered the business.
So when you decided to leave or after you left?
Before I left, I had registered, but it was dormant. I was not doing anything.
How long? Sorry.
I registered this company around in 2017.
Oh, okay.
So in 2017 it was registered, but I never did anything because I was like, at some point in future, I'll do this. So I can register a company, it stays there, I just do my dormant returns and stuff. But I didn't have that timeline of saying, what is that future? When do I want to start? You know? So yes, it just happened. I just woke up. I was not feeling myself. I lost myself in the process. I was not happy. So I left. Then my mind was like, I cannot look for another job. What if it comes the same?
Yeah.
The only option now I had was to start something for myself. But I didn't know how to do it. And now the journey, that's when it started. And I had to learn things. I had to learn how to market.
But when did you start?
When I started my company, it was already in 2018. So I resigned in September 2018. Then I started from then. So effectively for me to say everything happened, it just happened then. So in September, when I left work, I started advertising on Snapit, on Facebook adverts, a lot of other platforms I don't even remember now. I got some few clients, and then I started from there. What I was looking for, I didn't put myself in a lot of pressure, which I really liked about myself. I was like, you know what, I'll get my 5 clients, I'll get my whatever, and maybe for a long time, it will take time, it will not happen as fast. But believe you, it happened as fast.
Sure.
Yeah, because of the level of quality that I offer my clients, the value they get from the interaction they have with me.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
So how did you get your first client?
My first client, I got it from Snapit. That was my first client. So I bought those points of Snapit. Then I saw a request of someone who was looking for someone to do their payslips, their returns. They were so behind with their work. Then I called my phone, I called this person, I said, I can help you, I can assist you. Can I come for a meeting and so that you can understand what I can offer you? So that was my first client, and it was quite a lot of money that I got from that client. And that was my brag. Yeah, and it happened in like a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
So is that client still your client?
Yes, that client is still my client. And there's brought a lot of other clients. Because the way I've grown mostly through my clients that I have, and they just refer other people. Yeah, so that's how I've grown so much. Yeah, and also because of the value and the interaction I have with my clients, I'm a people person. I love to talk. I love to make them feel comfortable and go even the extra mile. So they stick with me.
I'm sticking with you.
Okay.
Okay, so I want us now to get into the business of today.
Yes.
I want us to discuss tax. So what is tax?
Okay, before I even start saying about tax and all that, I know this is not a subject that a lot of people want to listen to, but I bet you, believe you me, when you find the right person to talk to you about tax, you understand it better, and it's so easy than we think it is. So tax is actually what a levy that the government wants from us, from running our businesses or from being employed. Because remember, the government uses this tax for our health system, for a lot of the state things that they do. The money comes from tax. So it is very important also for us as citizens, as people to love to pay tax as well, because it's for the benefit of our country and also our infrastructure and all that. So it's a levy that you need to pay. But what you need to understand with this tax now is which type of tax. What do I need to know about this type of tax? When do I need to do this tax? What are the implications? So that's what we're going to talk about, I think. So yeah, I think I answered the first question about what is tax.
So who pays tax and when is tax payable?
Okay, so everyone, I obviously won't dwell much on all the other taxes and all that. There's so many taxes, right? I'm a chartered certified accountant, so yeah, that's my business, that's my thing. There's so many taxes that we learn, and some of them also are not even an expert. But we're gonna focus mostly on corporate tax. I think if we focus on business tax, yes, there's individual tax, where obviously you know before you even get your salary in your hands, it has been taxed already by your employer, and the employer pays over the tax, right? Then we also have this business tax, which we call corporate tax. Meaning when you have a company, you need to know you need to pay tax. So I'm answering your question, who needs to pay tax? I think almost everyone needs to pay tax. An individual who is employed or someone who is running a business, we pay tax. Yes.
So I want us to focus more on income tax.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you break it down?
Okay.
In a corporate world or wherever, in business and whatever, what is income tax?
Okay. So income tax in business is the tax that you pay on whatever profit you have received in your business, right? So there's also a misconception that I've seen about this tax. People will say, no, I've not registered for income tax. I've just registered a company, but I'm not registered for income tax, which is like a big misconception. Because the moment you go to CIPC, you register your company. You are issued with an income tax number, meaning you have already registered for tax. So this is one thing you need to know about income tax. Everyone who has a business is registered for income tax. So we don't need to say there are some people who are registered for this tax and not registered for this tax. And now, because you are registered for this income tax, you now also need to know how it works. Because a lot of people, they register for this tax, they ignore it. They don't even care what they need to do, how it's supposed to work. But it's everyone's duty, where's a company, to understand the responsibility which comes with the tax. Right? So with income tax, this is what I'm going to explain to you about income tax. One of the major misconceptions is that people think whatever you get in your business is what you pay tax on. That is not correct. How tax works is you receive your income from running your business, but you have expenses. So we subtract all those expenses from your revenue.
That's nice.
Then what you are left with is the profit. That is what is taxed.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, I'm learning.
So a lot of people are saying, so if I get my million, you're going to tax my million. No, it's not that. You have your million. We are going to do what we call bookkeeping. So that's why you need an accountant who advises you. You do the bookkeeping. We put everything together. We get your bank statements. We process everything. We see how much is your revenue, how much are your expenses, what is now your profit. Then you pay tax on profit. And also, do you know, Kelly, that some people don't even pay tax because they've made a loss. So people think the moment I do a tax return, I'm paying tax. But so you can do a tax return and not pay tax because your business had made a loss.
Oh.
So you don't pay tax on a loss. But what happens is this loss is going to be carried forward to your next tax year. So if you have made a loss, it's gonna subtract your tax in the following year because you carry it forward. So that's why it's important to understand this thing of income tax. So with income tax, it also comes with 3 returns that SARS expects you to do. So before I go into that, I want to clarify one thing. So whether you are trading or you are doing anything in your business or not, maybe you just registered a company like what I did. I registered and I was not doing anything. Even though you are expected to do a return. Yes. So you need to know all those returns and their timelines so that you still do that return. And the thing that happens if you don't do those returns, what SARS does is they can penalize you. And those penalties are from 250 to 16,000 rand. And that's a lot of money which you don't need to pay. Because you just need to know, I need to do my return. And remember, if you are not trading, you just declare it's a dormant company, no trading. So it means there's no tax. So imagine coming to us, we do your tax return, that new return for 300 rands. You have not lost anything. You are compliant, you've paid only 300 rands, and like waiting, and now it's getting overdue, and you have got a penalty on top of it. So you see what I'm talking about. Tax is easy to understand and to manage. Okay. So with what you're saying, what do we need to know about this income tax? So there's also timelines that you need to keep in your mind. Like income tax, there's 3 returns that you're required to do. So what you do is you go on that registration document for your company, that CIPC document. It will show you your year end there. So you will find your year end is February, or your year end is June, or whatever. But most companies are February year end. And the reason why we prefer to register people with February year end is that it's easy to follow because SARS follows the February year end calendar. Okay. So what happens is, you need to know every 6 months I need to do a return. So the first 6 months you do what is called first provisional tax, right? Then another 6 months, which means it's now February, you do a second provisional tax. Now when the year is ended, you have finished your year, you do what is called an annual tax return. So Kenny, do you want me to go into detail with this first and second and annual tax?
What happens if what penalties are there for people who don't pay tax, or maybe companies that don't file for tax?
So like I told you that every time when you are late for a tax, you are penalized. Let's say for people, okay, let's now dwell on income tax. There are other taxes we're going to talk about, like your VAT, your pay, and those are different taxes, right? But let's say you are just registered for income tax, you have no other tax. So the moment that your year has ended and you have not done your annual tax return, you are now non-compliant. SARS can penalize you, whatever they want to penalize you. And this is called a late penalty fee, a late filing fee as a penalty, right? So it means you were supposed to have filed in this time, you didn't.
Okay.
We don't know what has happened with your business or whatever, and they don't care what has happened. They're just penalizing you for not doing it. So that's why I say the timeline should always be in your mind to say, now what am I supposed to do? So that you avoid that penalty. Because even when you have received the penalty, you still need to do the return. You see? So it doesn't mean if you receive a penalty, you don't do a return. So don't wait to get the penalty so that you do a return. Just do the return before the penalty. Yes, because now you'll be expected to pay whatever you are owing on your tax return and also that penalty that they've given you already. And like I said, it's up to 16,000. That's a lot of money. Yes. Okay.
Okay, then moving forward, we're discussing VAT.
Okay. Yeah, that tax that is called VAT. I really try to discourage people who really do not need to register that tax. It's one of the most difficult taxes. Like I said, yes, when you come to us, we will teach you. It's very easy. But for most people who don't know, when don't have that information, it's very difficult tax for them. With VAT, that is called value-added tax, right? One thing you need to know, okay, for you to register value-added tax, there's 2 ways. You can do it as voluntary, meaning you just started your business, you have received 50,000 rand or whatever, and then you want to register. Meaning it's not required by law for you to register, but you are electing to register. That's why it's voluntary. So you can register that tax voluntarily and you get a VAT number, right?
So on that note, when you submit for tenders, they require a VAT number. So isn't that mandatory for every company that wants to do business with the government to register for VAT?
That's why I'm saying it now depends on your circumstances. So if you have a contract that's once a VAT number, you elect the voluntary way. Then it means you have to register it voluntarily. But there is another way where SARS is the one that says you need to register. So there is a mandatory one to say, okay, when you get to 1 million turnover in a particular year, you need to register for VAT and become a VAT vendor, right? So when you are registered for VAT, you are called a VAT vendor, right? So now in this instance, you are required by law to register. So it's mandatory. But when you get a contract or a tender or whatever and it's required, you elect the voluntary because maybe you have not reached the threshold that is required. So you can elect to do that. But now when you've elected to do it or when you've done it voluntarily or mandatorily, you need to understand one thing with VAT. I want to emphasize this, and a lot of people, they don't get this correctly. VAT is not your money. You are collecting the money on behalf of SARS. Because you, under normal circumstances on your operations, you charge without VAT, right? If you are not registered for VAT. So if you are charging 100 Rand, you just charge 100 Rand. But the moment you are registered for VAT, you are charging 115 because there's that 15 Rand. Meaning it's not yours. Your one should remain the 100 Rand, the 15 Rand, you keep it for your VAT, right? So another thing also with VAT, with regards to timelines. So whenever you register for your VAT, you receive that certificate that shows your VAT number and your cycles. So there is cycles, which means your period when you need to do a return for VAT. And most of the people fall under the 2-month period, right? So every 2 months, you need to do your VAT return. So it's not like an every month thing.
No.
You do it every 2 months.
Imagine 2 months, 2 months, every 2 months.
Yes, that's why I say the moment you register for VAT, you need to come to us. Because certain things you cannot do them yourself, you cannot remember, and you don't know how the rules are applied. Because if you are doing it yourself, you are prone to make errors, you are prone to be late, because you are focusing on your business. So it's important to focus on what you do best and give this to us.
That's a big one.
Yes, then we do it for you, we are your accountants, right? So with VAT, every 2 months, you need to do what I call your reconciliations and you pay over whatever money. The reason why I say reconciliation is because when you are doing your VAT, remember whenever you are selling your service or your product, you collect the VAT portion. But you also buy from people who have VAT. Or you also get services from people who are registered for VAT. Meaning you now need to reconcile the amount you've received and also the amount you've paid. And then you see the difference that you need to pay over to SARS. So it's not necessarily that whatever you have received on your sales is what you pay over. You need also to take note of what you have paid to other people who are VAT registered. Okay. So on this text as well, there is misconceptions. Like I tell you, there's a lot of misconceptions around tax. The other misconception is that people say, so when I have received VAT of 200,000, I need to pay 200,000. That's a misconception, which I've just explained. You do a recon, then you pay the difference. And another misconception is that people take the VAT money to be part of their revenue. It's never like that. Even when we do your books, your money that shows as revenue does not include VAT. VAT is done separately on its own. It's not part of your revenue. So some people say, no, if I have VAT, I'll pay a lot of tax and all that because the money on VAT adds up to my income. It doesn't work like that. It's a separate standalone. VAT is standalone on its own on the books and revenue on its own on the books. So those are some of the things.
Okay, the last point that we wanted to discuss is it pay?
Yeah, pay as you earn tax. So mostly on tax, on a normal running business, most of the taxes that the businesses are most concerned about is mostly 3 taxes. Your income tax, your value added tax, your pay as you earn tax. But like we said from the onset, everyone who registered a business automatically they're registered for income tax. But it's you who adds these other taxes, right? Because of the environment or whatever your business is, where the business is going. So, for example, value added tax, we have those two things that we talked about, voluntary or mandatory. So it means you have added this tax, but it's not like it's a standard for every business. And also with pay as you earn tax, it's not also a standard tax because it depends when you have employed people, when you have employees, or even you yourself when you are earning a salary from your business. It means you need to register for pay as you earn tax. Okay, so how this tax works is like this. Okay, so a requirement for you to register this tax is because you have employees. And remember, when you are in business also, we are employed by our own businesses. We need to have this separation between you as a person and your business, right? So there's this separation of separate legal entities here, you and your business. So I always advise people in business to say, you need to pay yourself a salary. You need to be an expense to your business. You don't just take money. Money come in, money go, money come in, money go. You need to register for payroll tax. You pay yourself as if you are working for your business, right? The same way you could have done if you're employed by Mr. So-and-so or whichever company. So the moment you have that, you are paying yourself or your employees as well. You need to register for pay as you earn tax, right? And this pay as you earn tax, it has got brackets. Tax brackets, obviously. So it's not everyone who has got same amount of money you need to pay or whatever. There's brackets depending on how much money you are earning. So you can pay 500 rand on your salary, or you can pay 10,000 or whatever, depending on what is your salary. And this thing, you need to do it properly using a payroll system made for that. Otherwise, if you just try to create figures on yourself or try to do it manually and so on, you get to have differences. And what you have paid over to SARS is not correct. Now you are doing your reconciliations, it's not tallying. So that's why you need also to come to us and we do your payroll properly on a payroll system. So you declare. So what happens is when you have done all your employees, you have calculated the pay as you earn, and also UIF. I'm going to talk about UIF because it's linked. Pay as you earn, UIF, it needs to be together. So when you have the employer, you have calculated, okay, this is the pay as you earn tax from this person, from person A, B, C, D. You keep put it together, and that sum is paid once to SARS using that tax number that you have for your company. So it's a responsibility for the employer to deduct and pay. So the employees, you just now pay them their net salaries. So they know I'm getting 10,000 rand, but the tax has been deducted and paid, I'm going to receive 9,000 or whatever amount. So yeah, that is one thing you need to understand. And as an employer, you are liable by law to do that. If you are not doing that, it means you are doing an illegal thing. Every person you've employed, you need to do the tax and pay the tax. So pay as you earn also goes with UIF. So for a company whose threshold is below the pay as you earn tax, because there is an exemption. So like this says 83,100 rands, right? So meaning someone who is earning that money for the whole year, which is about 6.5 something, they don't have tax, pay as you earn tax, liable. They just need to pay UIF, right? Sorry. So if your company has got employees who don't pay as you earn tax, you don't necessarily need to go and register that. You can just register for UIF with the Department of Labor, and you just pay directly to UIF. But the moment you have even one person who has pay as you earn tax, you register via SARS for pay as you earn tax. And you do your payment once to SARS. SARS is the one that is going to take to UIF. So you don't double to say, I'm paying UIF here, I'm paying this one here. So that is a good positive thing. And with UIF, it's always 1%. 1% of what your employee is getting. So someone's getting 6.5, they pay 65 rand, right? It's 1%. Meaning you deduct the 65 rand only but the company also pays the 1%, yes, towards the UIF. So meaning it's 2%, but the employee just pays 1%. And we pay it over to SARS, to UIF or to SARS, whatever. So this reconciliation, when you have now done pay as you earn is done every month. So that's why I said these taxes you need to know each timeline for each tax. So the pay as you earn is done every month. So whenever you have done your salary roll, your payroll run, you need to take the money, pay over to SARS, do a declaration and pay. So it's a monthly tax. And now when it's year end, like now, the year is ended. Now there's reconciliation that is done. If you have heard about IRP5s, those IRP5s that you use for your individual tax, they come from the employer, because the employer was the one paying over to SARS, so they give you your certificate to show you how much you've earned, how much you've paid tax, so that you can go and do your individual tax. So as an employer, you need to give the employees their IRP5s. So meaning you need to be paying their tax and you need to be registered for their tax. And as an employee, you need to demand your IRP5. Because we are saying this, I'm working, you are paying my tax and all that. So I need a certificate that shows you have paid me my taxes. Because that certificate is populated from the SARS system. You have to link all those things for you to populate that thing.
Okay, so tell me, how can one or a company or an individual save from SARS? Save.
Okay.
Like save money from paying.
Okay, so there are ways which, okay, as accountants, this is our field, right? Of expertise. So we know, okay, if someone does this, definitely their profit will go down and they save on tax. So like I said initially, you pay tax on profit. So what do we need to work with? Is the profit, right?
Oh, okay.
We need to work with the profit. Can I buy something for my business and asset and decrease my profit? And how does it decrease my profit? Can I increase my salary? I've been earning 5,000 rand. Now can I give myself 10,000 so that my expense goes up, my profit goes down? So it's not, there are ways which are very legal and which helps your company grow, but at the same time you are being tax savvy. You are being clever about tax. And that I can preach that, even I can say that even in front of the president, because that is allowed. We need to grow our businesses and we need to know how to grow them. Even if the government doesn't say, we want you to pay tax, they also want you to grow your business. They want you also to remunerate yourself. They also want you to employ other people and pay salaries and all that, so you reduce your profit, but you are growing your business. So it's not necessarily that a lot of people say the government just want our tax. Because if you don't know how to go about your tax and how you to do the whole thing, yes, you end up paying unnecessary tax. Because you cannot work around your figures and you don't understand how the implications work. So that's why we say we are here. That's the gospel. I can preach the whole day. I can teach you about tax. I can teach you about this and that. All the numbers. I love numbers. I eat numbers daily. And we need to know about this. So, yes, there are some people who cheat the system, who do evasion of tax. It's not allowed. You cannot do that. You cannot defraud the system. It's not allowed. It's illegal. And when you are caught, definitely you can have jail term, you can have all those things, and you can lose everything you worked hard for. So it's really not necessary. You can still do things properly and still not pay a lot of tax, and you grow your business properly in the right direction. Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm leaving this place today as a tax consultant.
Yes, I would want you to be like that. I would want you to understand all these things. So, like I said to you initially, tax is not as complicated as people think it is. It's who advises you about the tax and who explains to you about this tax, how to manage it. One thing when I started, like I told you, I went in consultants, right? I knew what we're doing in consultants. Most of the consultants, we just take your bank statements, populate your information together, we give you your report. We don't care. We don't even, some people don't even go to the level of saying, no, you need to do these things correct. This is how you need to do it correctly. This is how you need to rectify this. They don't care. They give you that report that you don't even understand where it's coming from or going to. Then it doesn't add any value and it doesn't improve you. But here at Ngoho Accounting, when I started my practice, I said I want to change that status quo. People should have interest in knowing their finances. Because finance is the backbone of the business. You can make a lot of money, not knowing how to use the money is like nothing. It's a waste. You end up spending on things that are not necessarily, that don't add value to your business. And a lot of people actually, they don't even know how much they are making. A lot of people can ask them, how much did you make this last tax year? They don't know.
That's my accounting.
They don't know. Yes, it's like it's an accountant's duty and responsibility. But we as accountants, what we need to do is to do your books for you and give you those numbers, and they should make sense to you. So what we do is we train you. We tell you what it means. This figure, what does it mean? So even when I give you reports every single month, and what I do, Kelly, is this. I give management accounts every month. The reason why I'm doing that and why I put management accounts is for you to plan your business going forward every single time. So when you see what you've done last month and what you've done this month, you need to come up with a story. Am I improving my business? Did I get more revenue? Which expenses were higher? Why is this higher in this month than the previous month? There should be a story. And that story which should give you a decision to change things in your business, to better your business. So those reports, I really advocate for this. People should understand their businesses in regards to finances. And it's so easy. Easy peasy. It's easy. I teach you. We do it for you. We tell you. We give you. And you believe me, you'll be so interested. Every month, you'll be the one pushing me to receive those statements because you want to analyze them. You want to understand how the business is going.
No, that's nice.
Yes, because why some people also get the shock of their lives at year end about their tax. Because there was no planning of the tax. That was happening every single month as you go. You don't even have an idea of how much tax you need to pay. All of a sudden, someone comes and says you need to pay 200,000 rand in tax.
Yeah.
And you don't have the tax, the money, because you've never planned for it. But when you are seeing the activity every month, you can say, now my profit is sitting in this, so I'm expecting to pay this amount of tax. You plan for it. So that is also another reason why it's very important that when you are in business, look for an accountant who will train you and assist you in terms of finance and your taxes. And you are aware of this every single month, so that it's not a surprise. It should never be a surprise. You should see where the money came from and where it went. And you can see where you put that 15% of VAT or what is that money for income tax for year end. So yes, at Ngoho Accounting, my passion is your books. Just your books.
So you've heard, guys. Okay, guys, so you've heard yourself from the accounting tax.
The tax practitioner.
I said no, sorry. From the accounting, the tax boss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your new name is tax boss.
Okay, yes.
So, alright. So, Munya, I would really like to thank you for your time, for welcoming me into your beautiful offices.
Thank you.
This is very nice. I'm very inspired, actually.
Thank you.
So, where can people find you? Because
Okay.
you've got a lot to say. Guys, she has a lot to say.
I have a lot. And I have the time for you. I can even have a day for each and every one of you to explain all these things in detail, and you ask me and you understand. Okay, so our offices were based in Midrand. We are based on 16th Road in Midrand. But with my services, there's no boundaries. I have clients all over South Africa. I have clients in Cape Town, Durban, East London, Limpopo, everywhere all over South Africa, because we don't really need to meet physically. You can send information on email and all that, and you can have meetings on WhatsApp, on Zoom, different platforms. So wherever you are is not a limiting factor, because we can do your accounting, we can do everything that we do even to a physical client. We even have people local. You know, I have people in here jobbing, even here in Midrand, but I've never met them. They've never come to my offices because there's no really need for that. So we are on 16th Road in Midrand, and also we are on Facebook. So if you just go there, Ngoho Accounting and Business Consultants, you'll see the Facebook page. So we're there, it is loaded, guys. All the information that you might want, you just go through the videos, you learn a lot. And you can also get hold of us on WhatsApp. At any time, you can WhatsApp me, and it comes directly to me. Imagine, to me directly. Yeah, I take my duties seriously. I take this texting seriously. So when you WhatsApp, you talk to me directly on my WhatsApp number 073-886-7668. I think you're gonna pin it and they'll see it. Then we have a landline as well. If you want to contact us through a landline, you can also contact us on WhatsApp. So it's WhatsApp. You can email. You can come to the offices, or it's up to you.
Okay, guys. So now I hope sitting right there, wherever you are, you've learned a lot, because I've learned a lot. So thank you so much, and I'm wishing you all the best in your business and the business that you're going to do behind closed doors.
Thank you so much, Kelly. It is really a pleasure talking to you and talking to everyone who is watching. It's really my wish that everyone who has a business will understand this text and take it seriously, because it has got a lot of implications on their businesses as well. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And guys, everyone who's watching, thank you so much. Yeah, I hope I've added some value to you.
Okay, guys, don't forget, if you want to be on Reabua podcast, do send me an email at reabua2020@gmail.com. Subscribe to Reabua on Facebook, on YouTube. Reabua, it's Reabua. So please do subscribe. And also follow Reabua on Instagram as well as on Facebook. Those are my pages, Reabua.com. And also follow Reabua on podcast apps, your SoundCloud, Iono FM. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for your time. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.